morning, welcome to CATEX-TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. This is a live broadcast from London, United Kingdom. Today is Wednesday, November 3rd, 2010. 11:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in the U.S. It's 3:30 p.m. in London. In Hamilton, it's 12:30. In Mexico City, it's 10:30. If you need to reach us during the broadcast, you can phone in toll-free at 1-866-67-CATEX. Overseas, our AOL instant mail address is CATEX-TV. Well, the first news is the U.S. election. And the Republicans have taken control of the House of Representatives in a resounding manner. John Boehner from Ohio will be the new Speaker of the House. He'll be third in line to succession to the President of the United States after Vice President Biden. And he'll be replacing Nancy Pelosi. The Democrats have retained control of the Senate. Harry Reid, the Democratic Senate Majority Leader, has won his race in Nevada. Other interesting races of note, Carly Fiorina was defeated in her senatorial bid in California to beat Barbara Boxer, who defeated her. She's a Democrat. And also Meg Whitman, the former CEO of eBay, after spending $148 million of her own money, lost to former Governor Jerry Brown, who was the governor of California 30 years ago. This would be Jerry Brown Jr., who at one time dated Linda Ronstadt. He currently is the California Attorney General. So it's an interesting mix of results. The Republicans have one house, the Democrats retain the upper house, and President Obama, of course, is in the White House for at least 2 more years. Now, to our reinsurance news. An odd story, granted, considering the location, but from Tallahassee, Florida. The Florida Insurance Department has agreed to reduce collateral requirements for Hiscox Insurance down to 20% of loss reserves from 100%. Of course, Hiscox, being a non-U.S. insurer, had previously been subjected to the alien treatment, mandating that 100% of collateral be posted or at least kept in escrow for U.S. losses. But there is a new wave sweeping the United States to make it easier for alien reinsurers to come into the country. Florida, the most hurricane-prone state in the country, has reduced Hiscox's collateral down to 20%. Hopefully that this is something that will not come back and bite the department. Other news, XL Capital is moving into some good areas right now. They continue to have a share buyback program. Once again, XL essentially is rising from the grave here because of Mike McGavick. Posted very good quarterly numbers and just authorized a new $1 billion stock repurchase program. So you have to give credit where it's due. The Hartford up in Connecticut, give credit here to Liam McGee, of course, former Bank of America executive who took over and is running the company now. Hartford posted very strong investment gains that in fact increased its profit in the third quarter up to $666 million. In the third quarter of last year, they lost $220 million. And it's mainly due to investment results. Net investment income increased to $1.1 billion. Last year, they had a loss of $5.8 billion in investments. So that's a heck of a swing. According to Mr. McGee, the environment in the commercial, property, and casualty lines remains competitive and economic growth has been slow. But he certainly should take pride in his numbers. Here's some interesting news coming from Bermuda. Albert Benchimol is leaving Partner Re. He's moving over to become the executive committee and chief financial officer of Axis Capital Holdings. He'll be reporting to none other than John Charman. Earlier this year, Partner, of course, announced that Costas Marantis would succeed Patrick Thiel. Mr. Benchimol is now moving on over to Axis. Mr. Benchimol holds an MBA in finance and marketing and a Bachelor of Science in Physiology and Immunology from McGill up in Montreal. Don't know if he's going to have an opportunity to practice those specialties at Axis, but one never knows, considering I should stop there. I might be sued. Interesting news from Admiral. The UK motor insurer has added 2 new reinsurers, Mike McGavick's aforementioned XL Re and Spain's MAP Re, to its panel for the next 2 years through 2013. XL is going to take 2.5% of Admiral's total written premiums on a quota share basis. MAPFRE is going to assume 2.5% and 3% in 2011 and 2013, respectively. Also, that Berkshire asbestos deal that we talked about that looked pretty good for CNA a couple of quarters ago, well, the ultimate blank has finally hit the fan there. CNA has recorded a 9-month net increase of about 55%, but the third quarter income was down by 47%. And that's because of the $263 million of a after-tax loss related to the CNA agreement to transfer almost all of its asbestos liabilities to National Indemnity Company, a Buffett runoff company. Excuse me. Finally, there was some explosive activity in Yemen, and this was not male activity. An oil pipeline in the southeastern Yemen state of Seba Press exploded yesterday. Apparently, the pipeline was operated by the South Korean company, a South Korean company. We don't have the name. Initially, it was thought that Al-Qaeda in Yemen was was the cause of the explosion, but apparently now the South Korean company is saying that, in fact, it was a malfunction in the equipment. Approximately 5,000 barrels of oil a day are leaking from the explosive site, and I'm just reading through this here. It's too early to know the cause of the explosion in the southwestern province. However, it appears now as if it was a mechanical malfunction. We don't have any information on the company or anybody who might be on the policy yet, so we're still checking that. So, that's the news here from London. We've been having an interesting week of meetings, a lot of buzz going on, and we'll be having some interviews lined up next week with some of the people that we're talking to. The main news, of course, in the United Kingdom is still the fact that the British Defence Force is going to be co-directed by the French military authorities, which is something that's causing some difficulty. Although I imagine if we were in Paris, the same would be true over there, people thinking that the French military force would be being governed by the British at this end. So things are interesting in budgetary times. Who knows what will happen next. Okay, if we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and we'll be reporting one final day tomorrow from London, and then Friday we'll be back in the United States.